What's up, everybody? Welcome to Sports Media TV Unfiltered, and today we are going to talk about some more NBA free agency, and we're going to talk about the Summer League, and we're going to talk about some of this other NBA stuff. Hope you guys are very excited because I'm very excited. Alright, let's get started, guys. First things first, in the second most coveted deal in free agency, Gasol gets signed to the Spurs on a 2-year, $30 million deal. This is absolutely nuts. The rich are only getting richer here, and we're starting to see that. Now, once again, I could care less as far as in terms of what it does for fairness. I really don't care. Like, the NBA has its own way of entertaining, and I'm not worried about them being competitive at this point. Now, it is kind of sad that a lot of these teams that don't make it to the playoffs every now and then miss out on the free agent deals, but they get draft picks in return. That's how this system works, right? Great. But let's talk about it. Yeah, let's talk about it. Pau Gasol, as we saw last year, was a very young 36. He could have definitely taken the Bulls to the playoffs had there been a few less injuries around him, I think. And when we look at Pau Gasol, one of the Gasol brothers, he's had an amazing Hall of Fame career. And you can't deny that. That's for certain. But at this stage in his career, to be so darn productive is just amazing. Can we talk about what he did with the Bulls team that literally had little to no offensive flow? And how he flourished as a passer and a rebounder and just as a decision maker from the high post area? When you think about that, is this not like an amazing pickup for San Antonio? When you think about what kind of big men they need? If you think about it, this is Pau Gasol and Tim Duncan have similar skill sets. Except Pau Gasol is obviously the better free throw shooter and the better mid-range shooter. Not that Timmy can't do those things, but Pau Gasol does those things a little better, whereas Timmy does the defensive things a little better. But overall, they do the same thing for the team. They both actually do play defense. People don't believe Pau Gasol plays defense, but listen, he plays defense. He may not be the best defender, but playing defense is hard. It's pretty damn hard, guys. And for playing defense to be pretty damn hard, he plays defense pretty well. He'll block some shots, the pick and roll, meh. But listen, he'll be in the right place at the right time. You can at least count on that. That's good enough. So when you talk about defense, it might be a little bit of a downgrade on the Spurs' part, but, look at what they lost so far this season. David West bolted off to the Warriors. Boban Marjanovic, their young big man with a lot of upside, has gone off to Detroit to sign a $21 million contract. So, you gotta do something, right? And Pau Gasol is pretty fucking close. Let's just be honest. He's pretty freaking close, man. He was an all-star last season. He averaged a double-double on the season. So, he's obviously still very, very productive, and he's still one of the top power forwards in the game right now, which is crazy when you think about it. Alright. So now, with that being said, how will the Spurs look next season? At this point, it's kind of self-explanatory. Tim Duncan is still debating retirement. Manu Ginobili has decided to come back for another year, which obviously is going to be coming off the bench. That is just a fact. And the Spurs have signed a lot of young talent. And, DeJounte Murray, they're trying out Ryan Arcidiacono. The guys are looking pretty good, the younger guys. So, good future ahead of us. But, in terms of the front court, we're going to have Kawhi Leonard, Kyle Anderson. We're going to have Pau Gasol and LaMarcus Aldridge to exchange between the 4 and 5 positions. And you might have Tim Duncan, and who knows. And they also picked up Dwayne Dedmon, another young center with a lot of upside. He can hit a 15-footer. That's a good start. He doesn't clank free throws off the rim. He rebounds, and he plays defense. I think that's good enough for a 26-year-old who has a chance to get even better with the better team. Hey, would you look at that? So, the Spurs made a good signing, and that puts them right there in the realm with the Warriors and the Cavs once again, like they've always been with the rest of the top teams for the past going on 20 seasons. Good for them. Now, let's move on. Yesterday I mentioned some smaller deals, and that's that. But I want to talk about the Summer League. Because, not specifically the Orlando Summer League. That one was okay. It was alright, Ron Baker can ball. Bryce Johnson showed us a lot. Where was this at Carolina? We didn't see that man shoot one shot at Carolina. Good gracious. He's out here popping threes. Go Bryce. Popping threes and dunking on people. And taking it coast to coast. Henry Ellenson was sensational. That 7-footer with the handle, that's just too good, man. Thon Maker came out pretty well as well. He came out pretty good to be undersized or underweight. He came out pretty good, man. He got a double-double in his Summer League debut. I mean, these rookies are just amazing. But let me talk about the first day of the Las Vegas Summer League. Because I was jumping up out of my seat watching this, man. You talk about Brandon Ingram and these guys. Now, granted, they didn't have the best shooting days. That's one thing to talk about. But they're rookies. Since when do rookies just come out of the gate firing like that? Outside of Chris Dunn, who didn't even take that many jumpers. I mean, he was just bullying people. It might have been a matchup thing or whatever, but hey, Chris Dunn was sensational too. We'll give him that. But seriously, Brandon Ingram, he's nasty. That's a nasty, nasty young man. He's 18 going on 19, and he is nasty. Alright? He is everything the Lakers hoped for and a little bit more. Alright? He was out there blocking shots. He was out there crossing people over. He was put on the floor. He was getting to the rim whenever he wanted to. My goodness. We knew he was good at Duke. But we didn't know he was this good. I'm sorry, we didn't see this coming. I mean, this guy has a real handle. I think he's definitely been working on his handle, man. He has a real, legitimate handle. We thought it was going to be a little suspect at first, but he has a real, legitimate handle. And he can pass the ball a little bit, too. He has room to grow as a playmaker. He has a legit handle, man. He was taking guys off the dribble. He hit my man with a sick hesitation move. I mean a nasty hesitation. He made this dude look like he just got concrete on his feet. And just blew right by him. Was getting ready to dunk on the next person that came his way. It was just vicious. It was nasty. And we talk about Buddy Hield. Buddy had an off game. But with the nature of his game, that's going to happen sometimes. You take the bad with the good, right? But hey, Buddy's still explosive, man. He's still really, really good. He got blocked on the rim a few times. He's going to have to learn how to finish over length. In the NBA, that's going to be a little bit of an adjustment for him. Might take him a year or two to get that figured out, but that jumper is nasty. It's pretty nasty. And Buddy Hield, that handle is actually better than we thought it was. People say he was forcing it or whatever. But to be forcing it, he looked pretty damn good. He looked pretty good to be forcing it, man. He was getting to the rim when he wanted to. And by the way, he was creating a lot of space for that jumper. I mean, those guys could not get within an inch of him when he wanted to pull that sucker up. So, Buddy Hield definitely showed that he's about to be a super amazing scorer. When he gets it all together, he might win a few scoring titles. Because, I mean, he has pretty good size for a two-guard. And that handle is nothing to play with, man. That handle is actually pretty nice. It's not like he was getting it taken away like Jamal Murray was. But that handle was pretty nice, man. It's a pretty nice handle. And to go along with that, his shooting's only going to get better. We already know he can shoot the rock. Like, he's about to be nasty. Low-key, he's about to be like Curry playing shooting guard. Not really. No one can be Steph Curry, but you get what I'm saying. He's about to be on another level with that, with that pull-up game and getting to the rim and stuff like that. Once he figures out how to draw fouls and how to finish over length, man, watch out. He's going to be crazy. That's all I'm going to tell you. And the Lakers just picked up an influx of talent as well. I mean, did anybody notice how big D'Angelo Russell got? Like, he's been doing straight weight room, oatmeal, peanut butter, obviously, because whatever he's been doing is working, man. He got big. He was I mean, this man, not only has his jump shot improved because he hit most of the attempts he took from the three-point line and from the mid-range, but his pick and roll game's improved. His playmaking's improved from last season. You can tell. Um, and also his post game. He can have an elite post game, man. That turnaround jumper is money. And on top of that, how many point guards are 6'5"? And even if they are 6'5", how many point guards know how to defend a post, for that matter? How many point guards actually defend the post soundly? I don't think there's that many. So for D'Angelo to be able to learn how to set up camp down there and just be able to work his way down there, I mean, he was really playing barbecue chicken out there, and I was very impressed with him, with his game of barbecue chicken that he was playing against the Pelicans. It was quite impressive. He was just putting that guy all into the basket. I feel sorry for that poor point guard. I mean, he was much smaller than D'Angelo, but the fact that D'Angelo knows how to take advantage of his size and use his body is just scary, because his handle got a little better and his playmaking got a little better, and that's only going to get a little better or maybe a lot better from year to year. And then you're going to add in a post game, and then you're going to tell me that he's going to have the ball in his hands and he's going to be able to play make and facilitate for the Lakers? That's scary. I don't want to see the Lakers in a few years. I don't know about you. And Larry Nance Jr. showed out. He did his thing. He showed he had a little bit of a jumper. That's nice. So we'll see if that translates over to the regular season. Now let's talk about some of the other draft picks. Chris Dunn and Jamal Murray. Two very, 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 very talented young rookies, obviously. And they had a ball out there. Jamal, it's like, 19? So youngin', he's playing pretty good. He's playing pretty good. We can say that much. He's playing pretty good. For what he's supposed to do, he's playing really good. Yeah. He shoots the ball well, obviously. He has a beautiful jump shot. He knows how to create that shot, and you know what? I like the way he takes it to the rack. He actually knows how to take it to the rack, man. He can put it on the floor and take it to the rack. His handle's a little loose, but you know what? Give him a year or two. That'll be fixed real quick, because it looks like he's been working on it, because it's improved from his days in Kentucky, at least. We've seen that much. So it can only get better, right? He stays low. He does his thing, man, and he goes about his business. I mean, he's going to be a good combo guard. Good size, good jump shot, good body. He'll be all right. Now, Chris Dunn really stunned us all. He did pretty well. His jumper, I'm not going to say anything about his jumper just yet, because I don't know what to think about what I saw from him. I mean, he hit some pretty difficult shots, but mid-ranges, 15-footers. Am I convinced about that yet? Not really. We have to wait and see. But Chris Dunn obviously has good size. He is an okay ball handler. His biggest thing is defense. His defense is definitely NBA ready. We'll say that much for now. I don't know about his handle, really. He has like this thing with his handle, man. I don't know. It just looks different. It looks weird. It seemed a little loose. He wasn't getting it stolen by any means. Maybe it's because he's so darn strong. But it just doesn't seem... It can get better. Put it that way. It's not completely polished yet, as anything would be. But, he showed that he can get to the rim. He can get up there. He's athletic, and, he can play defense. So, hey, watch out, Ricky Rubio. You might be sitting on the bench this season. So, with that being said, the last thing I want to cover, and this is probably the most important thing, by the way, is for all this talk about next season, what lottery team are we going to see rise up? Who gets better this year? Who is going to become like a middle tier team, or a fringe playoff team? Who improves? And what we're looking at here is we're not looking at OKC anymore because, OKC is obviously a lottery team right now at this point, as they have all young assets. They are really poised for a banging rebuild, and I can't wait to see what they do with it because Sam Presti is amazing. But let's talk about the Lakers. Let's talk about them Houston Rockets. Let's talk about them, the Minnesota Timberwolves, man. I mean, these younger teams that are getting all this talent. All this talent. Who's going to rise up? Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? All right. So let's talk about the Lakers, man. And we just talked about them in Summer League, but let's talk about the Lakers for real. Like, for real this time. New coach and Luke Walton, new system, is obviously looking a lot better than last year. I mean, if you watched the Lakers in last Summer League, watching them try to run that Princeton dribble handoff offense made me want to gag my throat all the way down to a T. It was disgusting. Like, everyone was just standing around, and they would just hand D-Lo the ball. There was no setting screens, no nothing. Just, ugh. Just reminiscent of Byron freaking Scott, alright? This year, this free-flowing thing the Lakers got going on, I love it, man. I love it, man. Their offense is already improved. It doesn't even matter about the talent. Their offense is already improved. Luke Walton is that much of an upgrade at this point already. It's already improved. The ball movement, all the other fun stuff like that, man, it looks amazing. It looks great. And let's talk about this. D'Angelo Russell, man, he ain't playing no games. He's coming back, man. He's coming back for a vengeance. He won that Rookie of the Year last season. Byron Scott didn't let him get it. He's coming back. He's got some business to take care of, man. He's going to take care of it. He's going to take care of it real quick. He's gotten bigger, stronger. He's jumping higher. He's passing better. He's dribbling better. What is he not doing better right now? Please tell me. And if you don't like him, just don't talk, because you're going to find something to say. But even his defense has gotten better. His pick and roll defense has gotten better. He was getting eaten last year in Summer League. Not this year. It's great. I know it's just Summer League, but it's just good to see that this off-season work he's put in is actually doing something for him, man. And we talk about Brandon Ingram. Who would have thought, man? Who would have thought? His body's not even fully developed yet, and he already looks like he's up there. He's flirting with it, man. He's flirting with becoming breakout. I think he'll have a breakout season very soon. Once he figures out this weight thing, this underweight thing, I think he'll be perfectly fine. He'll be okay. He'll be good to go. And we talk about the rest of the Lakers. I mean, Jordan Clarkson and all these other guys. All right, they're only going to get better. They're a bunch of puppies, all in the same pound, with a brand new master. That sounds so racist. It does. It sounds very racist. I'm sorry, but you get the analogy. We talk about the Timberwolves. I think the Timberwolves are going to go on a faster trajectory than, obviously, the Lakers. Here's why. Tom Thibodeau is way more experienced than Luke Walton. Luke needs to learn a few things about being the head coach first before he can do what Tom Thibodeau has done so far. And Luke has a championship as an assistant. That's one thing, but so does Thibodeau. They're even in that boat, but, Thibodeau was just way older. He's so old. He's so experienced. I'm so jelly for the Timberwolves, man. He's so good. If you look at it, he's so good at what he does. Their defense is probably going to be one of the best defenses in the league. And if you don't believe it, you just read the silver lining, man. They drafted all this length. Chris Dunn, 6'4", sporting like a 6'7", 6'8" wingspan. Zach LaVine, 6'5", with a 6'9" wingspan. Andrew Wiggins, 6'8", with a 7-foot wingspan. Karl Anthony Towns, 7 foot something with a 7'3" wingspan. Gorgie James, 6'11", with a 7'3" wingspan. All these guys off the bench with these long arms, and they're athletic, and they can move, and they can run, and they're young, and they're energetic. And now you got a wise coach who can teach them how to make veteran moves. I mean, are you serious? they're definitely on a faster trajectory than the Timberwolves, only because of their coaching. The talent is like kind of the same a little bit if you think about it. On either team, they both have a lot of good young talent. But the fact that the Timberwolves have a coach like Thibodeau now, who is defense first, is going to be able to help them get defensive stops and get out and run in transition and play like they want to play, which is like very fast with a lot of defense. I don't know about their half-court offense. We'll have to wait and see about that. Definitely, for sure. But if you talk about as far as them improving, they're going to improve a lot. I think the Timberwolves can probably become a 35-40 win team in the West at this point. After this season, or maybe during this season. And the Lakers might be a 30 to 35 win team. It'll be pretty close. Pretty close. You talk about Houston, they got a little bit going on. They signed another point guard to go alongside Patrick Beverley, known as Gary Payton the second. You remember the glove? Well, he has a Devils Incarnate in the glove number 2, Gary Payton the second. So we can definitely count on that defense because he played a lot of that defense in college, and that's an NBA ready skill, buddy. Defense is defense. Hey, it's a good skill. I don't know about the rest of his game right now. I mean, that jump shot's a little suspect. He can get up, though. He got some bounce. He can get up. He can dunk on you. So that's good. That's pretty cool. And he has many years to work on his ball handling, and he'll be able to play under Pat Beverley and, be able to sit there and kind of develop a little bit. He's going to be good. He's going to be good as long as Houston doesn't screw this up. And, I mean, with James Harden, how much offense do you really need? I mean, that guy is actually willingly and actually taking all the offense on his own shoulders anyways because he likes to do that. That's what he does. He is James, no defense Harden. All offense, no defense. And his offense is so dang good that it warrants him being an all-star and an MVP candidate and all this other good stuff. So, they got plenty of offense for the rest of them. They got plenty of offense for the rest of the starting lineup. They'll be okay there. James Harden is enough offense for everybody. But, Houston, their biggest thing is always defense. And that's what Dwight kind of brought a little bit when he was motivated. But, Dwight has to have the ball to be motivated, man. Good luck in Atlanta, by the way. He's working on that mid-range. Y'all watch out, man. Dwight's working on that mid-range. It's about to be a wrap. If he gets that mid-range figured out, you can't hackle Dwight. He might as well go in and just dunk on everybody every time he gets the ball. Can't do anything about it at that point. Give that man a jump shot, it's a wrap. It's over for you. But back to Houston. Clint Capella is going to be taking Dwight Howard's shoes, and hopefully he just improves from year in and year out. And they're still stuck with Monte Unis because they tried to trade him off on a team, and then he didn't clear the injury exam. Which is kind of a good thing because he's a good stretch 5. He can shoot that rock, and he can pass it. They need some of that. Yeah, they could use some of that. Because, I don't think Corey Brewer is going to shoot 50% from 3 ever in his career. Neither is Monte Unis, but he might get pretty damn close if you give him enough open looks. And James Harden equals open looks, so better chance of him than someone else on that team becoming a pretty good 3-point shooter for them in their offense. Right? So, out of this batch of deals and stuff like that, and, Aaron Aflalo, just flew off the map. He's gone somewhere. We'll see him somewhere in some uniform. And can we just take a second to just, highlight how much better the Mavericks have gotten this year in off-season? I know I might have said this in the last video, but it's just crazy. Because when you're looking at this team, after seeing all these players walk, Chandler Parsons walked. I mean, everything that could possibly go wrong just happened. You thought Dirk was going to sign with the Warriors. Everyone was going crazy. Dirk's going to the Warriors. Dirk's going somewhere else. No. Dirk stayed home. Darren Williams is still there. I don't know what that means. He was what he was last season. Whatever. Raymond Felton is probably gone. J.J. Barea is a good backup point guard, but I wouldn't rely on him to start. But My goodness, these Mavericks, man, how do they do it? They get Andrew Bogut from the Warriors. They get a good passing big man. They get Harrison Barnes, a young, hungry superstar to be, who can shoot that rock, is athletic, and if he gets a handle, is going to be dang near unstoppable in that Mavericks offense. And all that ball movement that Rick Carlisle likes to do, this is going to help Harrison Barnes a ton. And you know what? I think if you give Harrison Barnes 20 shots a game as opposed to 10, he might shoot a better percentage after a while. And you know what? Dallas has nothing but time. Because even if they made some kind of a super team, have you seen what the Warriors did when they signed Kevin Durant? Do you see Cleveland? Do you see what the Spurs did when they got richer and added Pau Gasol to the mix? Another front court superstar? I mean, they didn't have much of a chance anyways. So whatever, but at least they're better than OKC this year. Hey, the tables have turned. Beautiful. With that being said, guys, I know this rant is really funny and this stuff is great. You know, this stuff is just kind of like funny to watch. Like, what is this guy on? Why does he do this? But you know, I enjoy it. It's fun, and I really do appreciate you guys watching and commenting if you do. I'm not sure if you comment or not. I just post these things and I don't really check on them like that. I just keep them coming. But shout out to a new subscriber that I got yesterday, by the way, who remains to be unnamed. When I find out your name, I will shout you out in the next video. I promise. But thank you for subscribing. Okay, so with that being said, guys, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. And yeah, man, keep posted. I will be back. Deuces.